How often do you work at the clinic?
Once a week, sometimes twice a week, just kind of.
From KETK, you're watching East Texas Live.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Deirdre with Bethesda, and she's here to talk about their pediatric care. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. So how does Bethesda kind of provide mental health support for children, and what kind of services do y'all offer?
We have 2 counselors on staff now that are trained to work with kids. We can see kids sometimes as young as 3 or 4 years old, up until 18, 19 years old, and we can help them with anxiety, depression. If they've been through some traumatic events in their past, we want to help them talk through those things and learn some coping mechanisms to help them become survivors of their mental health issues.
Yes, ma'am. And so many families may not know where to find, or turn when their children are struggling emotionally. What do you want parents to know?
I really want parents to know that the sooner you can get interventions for mental health needs, the better. If we put things off that need to be addressed or talked about, they can really snowball into a worse concern and could lead to actually having an impact on the child's well-being, even their length of their lifespan. So the soonest you see a concern, whether it's signs of anxiety, and that can be being scared of things, there can be crying spells, there could even be emotional outbursts. Sometimes it even seems like a temper tantrum, but sometimes it could be from an anxiety issue or a depression issue. So talking with your pediatrician as soon as you're seeing any kind of red flags like that and getting in with a counselor is what I would encourage all parents to be aware of.
Yes, ma'am. And we know mental health services can be expensive and hard to access. So how does Bethesda kind of help out with that?
Sure. So if kids have insurance, they can come and we can bill their insurance for the services. If they don't have insurance, then we can also see them on a sliding scale range, sometimes for nothing or a very low cost, which, mental health is typically somewhat expensive, but we do not want that to be the case for kids in East Texas. So anyone who needs mental health services, we will work with them and we will get them in sometimes the same week, even maybe the same day or the next day, to see a counselor for a reasonable price. We won't turn a child away who needs mental health services.
Yes, ma'am. And so how does the mental health services kind of work alongside of like the dental and health insurance?
Right. So at Bethesda, we want to take care of the whole child. So the mental health component will help take care of their emotional needs or concerns, even talk through some of their spiritual health needs. The medical side will take care of things like their checkups and their well visits and how are they growing and do they have any chronic diseases going on. We can also check blood work to look for things like cholesterol concerns, diabetes, and then the dental clinic can do checkups, do cleanings, even help with cavities if needed. But adding that mental health component is our way of trying to take care of the whole child and prevent future chronic mental health concerns from turning into something worse.
Yes, ma'am. Where can people get more information?
They can go to our website at BethesdaClinic.org, or they can call our office at 903-531-9455, and we'll be happy to get you in as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am. And so what's unique way Bethesda kind of approaches mental health?
So we do typically ask mental health screening questions every time a child comes in for a checkup. So we'll ask things like, how are things with your relationships at home, and how are things going at school? Usually you will see some signs of difficulties with relationships, either with family members or friends. That can also be a sign of mental health struggles. If they're struggling at school with their grades, that may also be a sign of mental health struggles. So we ask those kind of screening questions to start out with, and then we ask about crying spells, anger outbursts. We want to help families understand the warning signs to look out for, and we also want to address those needs as soon as we find them or hear about them.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about it.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. For more information, go to the website right there on your screen. Coming up next, it's National Seashell Day, and after the break, we're going to hear why it's so important. So stay with us. We'll be right back.